All right, what's going on, Grand Rising? Today is Tuesday, March 17th, 2026. And what we're going to be looking at today is the futures market, specifically MNQs here is what I like to trade, but we like to use the others for comparative strength analysis. If you haven't already, I know Top Step and most prop firms go ahead and change your contracts. So if you're confused on why you're not reading the price the same, it's because every quarter, right, they're going to change the contract. So now we're into the MNQM instead of the MNQH. So if you don't have your trading view set up, then that's probably why it's like that. I'm going to go over a top-down analysis after I mark up ES and YM because I had to go back and remark up everything. And then we'll talk about the idea here for NQ. But as you can see, kind of like I talked about at the end of the session yesterday, wanting to see if we were going to respect the 4-hour down candle of demand, right? We ended up coming into the overnight V-shape recovering right off of this special level, right? Setting an initial balance low for the day, and now we're off to the races already, pre-New York, right? So today, what I'm looking forward to is there going to be a continuation buy up into the previous day high area, right? Or am I just going to, and this is what my main plan is for today, is to wait for them to reach into the previous day high area, 25.050s, and then looking left here inside the supply candle, potentially see the buyers from overnight start to exit above old highs, okay? So I'm going to go over the other ones here in just a second, but that's pretty much my game plan for today. Okay. And then let me pull up the chat here so I can see if anybody has any questions. If you guys have any questions between now and, between now and 8:25 is probably the best time to ask, because once I start to do my lock-in mode, I'm not going to answer any questions like that. I'll just trade. But everything's pretty typical right now of what's going on in my perspective. Okay. And today I'm gonna watch right now. Grand Rising, good morning. Some of you guys are just hopping in. And then what I'm going to do here in just a second, here at 20, I'm going to go ahead and mark up the other assets, especially, first we'll mark up ES. I'm just finishing these little notes I needed to do really quick here. Okay, do this really quick here. Yo, what's good, Tay? Just like we talked about last night, bro, when we talked on the call. Perfect 4-hour rejections. I'm gonna mark up YM and stuff here in just a second. Give me 1 second. Make sure you guys have changed your contracts, right? Obviously the prop firms will change them for you because they don't want you to mess up. But on TradingView, you need to go in and change your contracts to the M contracts for June, okay? So if you're not reading the same thing on your prop firms as you're reading on TradingView, that's going to be the reason today, okay? Yeah, it's typical. This is what we expected. Okay, so we do this here. Okay, so talked about this, right? Daily demand level, 4-hour demand, the overnight, and then this beautiful demand candle that I was looking for, priced if I had the shorts. Shorts came right into the area perfectly. Once this area, like I had an overnight short on CFD, once this price broke down, right, this was about midnight, trailed everything to here, and then it, eventually came back, but it still secured like 60 plus points. But I was anticipating price to come into the 50% of the 4-hour demand and hit the top of this one and V-shape recover and do what we're seeing now, which is run back to the previous day high. So remember, the concepts of trading are buy low, sell high, right? The daily bar, if you're buying low, would be down in here, right? So below 876, and buying high would be anything above that, I would say, right? And so if you're still looking for, continuation buys through the liquidity, like they don't deliver this before New York, and you're looking for that push, you got to understand if it's fast, it probably won't last, and the buyers from the overnight most likely are going to take profit inside probably like 25.080s or somewhere in that 100, potentially. Now, if we're super bullish, we will go ahead and reach for that high from March 12th, Thursday, 2026. Right, we'll reach above that and start to really push, but there should be chances on the way up if that's going to happen, okay? Now, on these, I need to mark them. This is going to be the new YM, stuff like that. I have to mark these fairly quickly just because the new contracts, I had to update those, so you guys can kind of see how I do that here really quick. But 825, like I said, we'll be locked in, we'll be ready to go, and yeah. So, but the bias is pretty simple, I would say, on NQ. We're waiting for previous day high to sweep, and we're waiting for the previous day high to sweep, right? Because the key level for me today is going to be the fair value gap on the way up. So this is 1700 daily open for Tuesday, and these are going to be brief, just like where they're at now, because last week's high and lows and all that stuff I'm not going to focus on here today for ES, but we do want to know that where those are at, okay? So that's the London open price. Okay, cool. We do need to know the previous day highs and lows, though. I'm not going to do last week's, though. So this was yesterday's previous day high. So as you guys can see, we already have divergence, right? ES is delivering previous day high while NQ is still holding. So previous day high, all right, previous day low. Previous day low also happens to be the weekly open. All right, so previous day low. And then this is solid, and it's holding up blue, so it's bullish. All right, then we want to mark that market open for here. And then the initial balance lows and highs, okay? So like that's what I want to make sure I have. So this is the initial balance low of the day, so low of the day for ES. Initial balance low, and then you want to know where the high actually was to start the day, because that's going to be a really pivotal place of price for the day if they can't close back below that initial balance high. Okay, oops, that's last week's high, wrong one. Okay, so now we have the initial balance high, we have that initial balance low, so we know where we can fall, we know where we can ball, all right? And then I would say when it comes to this levels wise, I'm going to show you guys the levels I'm looking for here. So there's going to be between 67 and 68. And then you want to know every quarter. This is just how I like to do it, and it's easier to see for me. Every quarter in between there. So 67.25, 67.50, which is basically the open. 67.50. All right, and then 67.75. Okay, and so now I would say this is the key level for me today on ES. All right, it's like that daily open 67.50 level, and then we'll see if we can continue to push higher. And then really quickly, I'm going to mark this one up as well, but very briefly, because I don't really need to see that much on it to know where it's doing. So daily, Tuesday, London. Right, same situation. They all do the same stuff, guys. Imbalance fill, right? Fair value gap fill and takes off V-shaped recovery. Perfect. It's like the same stuff. All right. And then we have previous day high here. Already delivered. So anybody buying at this point would be kind of wild. Previous day high. Mark that market open. What time is it, guys? Okay, cool. We got I'll give it 2 more minutes on this part. Market open, market open, market open. This is also the previous day low, which will be, if we continue higher, the low of the week. But right now it's previous day low. Okay. So that. And then with this one, I would say 47 is like that main level. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to be looking at 47.5, 47,500, and then 48. And then I'll look at in-betweens later as I'm able to mark up a bit more. Okay, so midpoint, we'll mark up midpoints. But, okay, so now that it's 8:25 and we want our full focus on NQ here, we've got everything marked up. We can obviously see things when you look at a 4 hour, like I've talked about, supply demand. It's a real thing, guys, I promise you. This candle here obviously was respected here on YM. Talked about this last night on the call. This candle on ES respected, right? Talked about this last night on the trade review. And talked about this as well in the trade review. So to see this overnight V-shape, what they're doing right now, to me personally, especially when it comes to NQ, is they're creating FOMO, right? They know we want to be in this position, and they know we're waking up like, damn, price is already up, 100 handles, right? So they're like, well, now people are going to start feeling like, well, I want to get into the buy position. But now this is where it becomes, buying low and selling high, and knowing what's high and what's low, and knowing the zones of where you're at, right? Understanding where people are going to exit positions and where stop losses are resting, okay? And so for me, today, I'm going to put my focus on, like I said, A to B setups, but more importantly, what I'm going to do is I'm really going to focus on, like, my game plan for today is to see this previous day high swept, right? To see some buyers exit back into the fair value gap on H1, right? So 24.9 at least, possibly even daily open where the initial balance high was, okay? So that's my game plan going forward. Let me see a couple things here. I need some more coffee, but I'm going to stop talking as much. We're going to move over to the 15.5 window. I'll be watching higher time frames over here. And we'll see what we get today. But remember, today's Tuesday, no news, price is already pushing up. So don't feel like you have to, force anything. I think the best trades, like I said, will be when the buyers exit and we find a possible short position at that transition. So let's get it. Now, because we do have that divergence that we talked about with, let me write that down actually as well here. We have 47 seconds, so really quick. We have that divergence on the other two with ES already taking that previous day high. They could essentially kind of come close to this area on that we want. and roll back down first into the initial balance and then decide to take it, but we'll see. So let's get it. Now I am going to be watching this area though. What time is it? Very tightly, okay? So see if they present something in this area. Bang. That was like right in there. Wow. Now the fast move I did not take, so I'm going to wait for that pullback into that same area potentially here, because you don't have to take the first initial reaction like that. I want to see that first minute close at least. It's a pretty good one though. Okay, I don't want to see this. Alright, because ES is starting to distribute a little bit above those old highs, so let's see here. So still watching the price, not taking a trade yet, just kind of watching this area to see if it's going to break down. I do like this 25 level though. Let's see. If you guys like the 25 level, I may be attempting that, but I don't really. That crown form is pretty good. Let me see here. I do like 25s though. I like 25. Let's see. This 5 minutes kind of is still early. ES still looks pretty strong, so. Still waiting. Still waiting, right? This is the opening range, so don't get crazy. Kind of like yesterday, they fast flashed down first, so. Now if they take this high, right, like we're looking at this area, if they go ahead and take like that 5 minute high area up in here, then this will be an invalid area until we get to where we talked about. So I'm just still waiting. Okay, cool. They've already taken that area, so great. So now all I'm going to do essentially is just wait for them to go ahead and reach for that previous day high, like right here, and then look for a price action to deliver what I like. Now it could also happen a little bit higher, 25.080s or 25.100s, because that's where the supply is. So we'll see. Now looking at ES, they're explosive here. Let me write this down really quick. So cool. And this is kind of like I said, what we talked about. We want to see price reach up into supply on the H1, 25,100. And then don't forget, the algo loves 80 levels and 20s. So I'll be looking for small time price action around that 80 level for sure too. And then YM is flying to 47.8, which makes sense. Talked about that on the trade review on the 4 hour. Those dailies are amazing right now. Let's go. Okay, locked in here. And what I'm gonna do is this, just so we know where that open is of that 1 hour supply. And then ES and YM are super bullish. Let's go. New York opens. And this is what we usually expect, right? Is that with no news, price could just continue bullish for the continuation. And so now when you think about it, where New York open is, it's just like yesterday. It's really high in the range. So the New York low you definitely want to mark. Because it sits right above it, fair value gap. Did we hit the 80 level? We got close. Okay, so that little red 25.09.95 is just the open of that 1 hour supply candle. That's all you're seeing right there. But I am watching this area pretty tight here on small time frames, guys. 1 minute for potential sell side. I do like the 25.55s. Let's see here. Still watching this 5 though. Five minutes still strong though, so still being patient. Okay, watch the 1 hours. Now we are filling that gap at 47.730s on YM, so that's interesting. Okay, so sell side here. I do like the 55, guys. So maybe attempt that area if you like it. Be safe. Risk at the high of the market. All right, so it looks like this. All right, and those 55s we're looking like right in here. Might be a little early though. All right, like right in this area here with stop loss at like the high of the market here. I think they may want that 80 level at first, but if you did take that position, then I would say your buy limits obviously need to be right there at New York Open essentially to get out of that for the partial. It came to 76. It came very close. ES is in the level 68, so that's a good sign. So if they do roll over here fairly quickly, that would be great. So just watching this area. Stop loss here at the high, depending on where you got your entry. 5 minutes haven't showed the weakness yet, though. We still got 2 minutes on this candle, so. Now, like I said, if this 1 minute price can break down here, back down into this fair value gap inside this 1 minute, inside 5 minute demand, since it's an early trade, if it goes below, like if you got anywhere up in here, if it goes below 25.030s, I would cover the position because it's so early. But it's depending on where you got in. We still, I think, have a little bit of room possibly on this one, but we'll see. This is my first attempt, so. It looks pretty strong there, so. I had 55s, they're getting ready to come up to that almost. They came very close. Okay, cool, so they pushed through that level. So that'll be a small scratch for me. Just attempting that level, but I still think, like I said, we get to this level up here, 25.1, I think that's going to be the level we like. And that's only being because we need to reach that supply. But have we reached 80 level is the question. Okay, cool. Yeah, they're flying. markets are, okay, so this is where we're gonna start looking. Okay, so still just looking for the small time price action to print in this area. That's not saying I'm gonna take the trade here. I'm just looking to see if they're gonna start to break down a little bit. I like this area a lot more though with that 5 minute. Those 60s look pretty good, guys. So if you like the 60s, those might be a little bit better than that first one, to be honest. Trying to see how this 5 minutes gonna play. It looks pretty good compared to that last one, the 5 minutes doing that, but I just, a lot of the times they want that higher time frame area, so. Five-minute weakness looks okay. Let's see how that candle closes. Trying to see if I can see a little something on this. It still looks pretty strong on 1 minute, so 76s. Okay, I'm just trying to look at the prices. 5 minutes still looks pretty good. Let's see. Still waiting. It'll be invalid if they push higher. Like if we're waiting for that 5 minute close to see if we want to take that turn. It looks still pretty bullish. ES is inside the supply, 68, so let's see. Still watching that smaller time frame, looking for that breakdown. The 5 minutes is not really showing it yet, so. Not yet. 1 minute looks pretty bullish, so I'm gonna still wait on this, guys. Still wait on this. This one looks pretty much invalid still, because the 1 minute's still stacking, so I think they're gonna get to that level first that we want, but we were waiting for that rollover right there, just in case. Yes, it's still on the level. What time is it? Okay, still watching this area. Right, not yet. I'm still watching small time frames for potential rollover here. I do like this area though, guys. Anything above those 60s, essentially. But I want to see that small time price action presented as well. So if you like those 60s, I still want to see what they're going to do here. Let's watch this 1 minute real quick. they start to break down here, like I would take that as long as it's inside that 57 level, okay? One minute's not showing me that yet, okay? Still bullish price. Cool, so that's still not yet on that one. Go back to here, I'm gonna wait. Where's my coffee? The first 15 already closed. It's really getting to the area is what it's really gonna matter, is where the buyers from overnight decide to exit. Usually they do inside supply here. So once they get into this area, this will be the key, because all the stop losses should be sitting above this. Now if we're super bullish, then price will reach for 25.2 and higher. So it just depends on what they want to do. But now we're at the level that we want to see, which is the liquidity and the supply. And so this is where most likely we could see that turn a lot better and start to fill some of those, that New York low, that imbalance right below, and possibly maybe 900s. And it's the right time, so. He's stupid. They're super bullish though, I mean. Where's my New York open? Okay, now looking at ES, it is starting to deliver that H1 high, so let's see. Okay, let's lock in here. This is the area I really want to see. Let that 5 minute continue to pump. And since I have one scratch, what I'm gonna do when I do take a trade is I'm gonna look for a full 5R trade, essentially. Yeah, at some point, possibly. All right, let me lock in. Tried one time already, Philip, but just waiting for the signal for me. All right, waiting for that 1 minute to break down a specific way. So I do like this more up in here. At these 100s, looks interesting here. Look at ES. ES is in supply. I want to see how this 5 minute candle closes here. So that box is just up to like, I'm just looking at small time frame at the same time. And if it goes higher, like on 1 minute, so this for example, then it's invalid, but I'm watching this on my executions. And ES is still looking pretty strong, so. ES breaks 68.10s. I mean, this could go to 25.150. So, not really seeing it here on small time frames right now. It's looking pretty stackful. So, still waiting. Let's see. We're gonna continue to watch this 5 minute close. I'm gonna leave this up though, because I'm gonna need it at some point. I don't want to have to reopen the box. Yeah, they're strong. I mean, they've been strong overnight. If you look at the V-shaped recovery down there at the London 24/7 60s, I mean they've been bullish since overnight. Now, me personally, I wouldn't buy this up. I'm not saying it's not going to buy up because it definitely has the potential to go to 25 150 here. Let's lock in. So I'm watching that small time price action. I'm looking to possibly attempt these 100s. ES showing a little bit of weakness at 68. I like these 100s, guys. I like these. Good higher time frame area. It makes sense. Good fair value gap here below for a partial. So we'll see if this 5 minute can close bearish. That's 3 minutes, but let's see how that 1 minute price plays as well. If this 5 minute candle in it's 3 minutes, it's quite a long time. If it closes bearish, then that's an even better sign to entry. But if you like that 1 minute area, if you're wanting to just attempt here with the risk of 20 handles, it's not a bad situation to get back to the fair value gap. That's the one I like. So I have one attempt as a scratch, and then I have this one when I'm looking to partial inside of here, right in that fair value gap on the 5. Could they be hot? Right now I don't know that question, Philip. Right now I'm just looking at price and just like understanding like where I'm at supply wise and where buyers should exit. So if you got that trade, like I said, on that 1 minute, as soon as it started to break down, those 100s looked really good with stop loss at the high. And so that's the position I have for my second attempt. So essentially mine looks just like this, just so you guys see. 25 100s, looking for this to deliver, and then New York low would be that 1 to 5 plus area. So getting below into this imbalance here would be a 7R, and then it'll be a partial, so it'd be a 4.5 plus the 1.5 if it works out. Okay. But we got to see on this 5 minute how they're going to play. It's a good higher time frame area, I feel like. So you'd want to see some 5 minute weakness at this point if it's going to work. And let me plot it and see what it looks like on a 4 hour really quick. It's in the right location. So let's see. And let me take a screenshot of this real quick with the area. And then think about it, guys. The low on day is super low. The really first demand inside the 15 is all the way below daily, right? The actual like imbalance area right here, or fair value gap, whatever you want to call it. So ES is showing a little bit of weakness at 68. So let me see here really quick. It's QQQ looks like it could still move up to a little bit. We'll see how this 5 minute candle closes. Could they be all hopping for rate cuts? I think it's really just the contract switch over. A lot of times when the contract switch over and there's no news, prices will pump. It looks pretty aggressive still. So that 5 minute candle closed bearish. So if it goes higher here, then that's, I mean, it's got a while to go, the 175s. But if it starts to show some weakness here, we should roll back into the imbalance, but we'll see. And then I do want to know where that 1 to 5 will be area, just so I have an idea on here too. Basically New York open or lower. So you'd want to see some weakness on that 5 and see it start to break down, if it's gonna go lower. Because you have one sign of a sign of weakness, and then the second candle you should see a breakdown if it's gonna go lower again. Okay, and the IB low is super low too. Okay, that looks pretty good. We'll see. Don't want to get excited. Need that 5 minute to show me a break below this area here, like a structure break on 5 will show me true strength to the downside. Until then, it's just still kind of hovering in that area. But I do like the H4 and the H1 location of the trade. Just need some follow through. It's just a waiting game at this point, guys. See what they're gonna do. Looks pretty interesting here. 1 minute price looks pretty good, right? We want to see the fair value gap here at least filled, so liquidity be grabbed inside of here. So that's a good sign. Starting to turn into a wick on the H1 and 15. That's a good sign. So now it's like, can they break the structure and fill the gap? Because when they fill the gap, if you took this trade, you should be have a partial for about 1.5R and then go break even on the remainder. Okay. And we'll look to play that down to minimum, New York low, if they want to do that, because where the New York opened and they trapped a lot of buyers, I believe. But then if they do want to push it even lower than that, I would say key level 24,900 is a good area breakout, like close to daily open. This fair value gap inefficiency if it pushes. And let me take a screenshot of this really quick. If you guys don't mind. Just have this area marked. Okay. Now we're pushing into that 5 minute demand on the way up. So I personally like to see aggressiveness through this because they could easily just turn it around here and V-shape recover. But let's see. I like the higher time frame area. Then we are seeing some weakness at 68 on ES at the same time, which is good. That 5 minute starting to V shape. Let's see. This 5 minutes still has 4 minutes. So if this candle doesn't get weak and start to get below, like I said, that area we talked about, then they're hovering too long. Okay. I know that's the 1 to 5 is New York, so I just want to see what this is here. Getting below New York would be a 7R, so 4.5. Five minutes just playing around here. We have still 3 minutes on this candle, so. I like how that's starting to print. Okay. So remember, have your partial already ready because we've been so bullish. We're almost there. We're getting kind of close. So for me personally, based on where I entered, okay, I'm personally going to be break even, all right, because I have a pretty good entry, okay. So if it comes back, it comes back, but if not, I'm securing that just in case, okay. So I want the partial to deliver. So just so you guys have an idea. Oh, I can't really do it here. So that partial delivers, then I'll start to talk about trade management of where I want to see it get to. ES is playing really well. I do want to say that too. You guys see this just really quick. ES is in that same area like I talk about, understanding supply and demand. All right, supply. And so we want to get our that area is responding, and then like I talked about on this, right? Fair value gap, beautiful gap on YM, made a lot of sense to see them reject there, okay? Okay. So one scratch so far, break even on this. We get the delivery, that'll put me back up 0.5, and then we'll manage out the rest potentially if it doesn't come back here. Which it definitely could. That's why I was saying I'd rather be break even from the area that I had. So, and then my entry is actually, let's say my entry is in the 99s. So let's be a little bit better here. Okay. Okay, so it's 5 minute closes here in what, 5 seconds. Let's see here. Good. closes bearish and stays pretty bearish, then that's a good sign. Kind of holding that trap candle on the way up, so that's why I said I'm protected on this just in case. Now if they come in and just tap me and fall, it is what it is. So if you guys want to accept the risk, you can. I've had one loss on the day so far, so I want to protect it. All right, I'm gonna hit some push-ups. Give me a sec. All right, we're back. Come on, deliver our 0.5 here. I know, right? Full range of motion. Come on. Hey, them was good ones. Roll over, dude. Just roll over. Fill the imbalance on the way up, baby. He said full range of motion. Wow, that's hilarious. Tell this trade to go full range of motion. Before coming back to risk. That'd be great. Oh, that 1 minute's holding up in this area. Come on, guys. Roll over. What time is it? 1 minute for this 5-minute candle. They're holding up that area. Let's see. Roll. Oh, okay. I thought you were saying the push-ups. I was like, dang, I felt like I was getting in there. It's playing, man. We'll know, I think, here by the 30-second mark on the 5-minute if they're gonna give up in the highs here. If not, like I said, that area may stack and hold, but we'll see. That's why I said if you're above 100, stay break even. Or at that 100 level. Okay. 5-minute close. It was a bearish close, but we need to see it sink right here. That 1 minute starting to peak. It's getting close. We need it to literally break down and just go below and fill this inefficiency. All right. I can't look at P&L, guys. I have to look at the just the chart, or it messes with my head. I was like, what the heck? Nice little roll. Let's see. It's got to do the dance, so it's got to get through that 1.5 R so we can secure that bag back. Good entry, Chris. I would say if you got that, bro, 98s, I'd be break even. That's where I'm break even from. I'm 99, 100 area. Fire entry, man. I told you we were going to get those entries. Bang. There we go, guys. So you should be break even on the remainder of the trade, okay? There's really nothing to hold on to now, because we've secured back that if you did take that loss with me, and if you didn't, then you're great. But we secured that back now, and now we're just off to the races. Okay, so that the initial part of the trade, what you see here when it goes all green to me, is that my partial has been met, and I'm break even on the remainder no matter what, and then I'm looking for New York lows. So guys, let's look back at yesterday really quick. When we shorted, same thing. We shorted at the high of the day, right? We shorted at the high of the day inside supply. We played that position back down to where New York low. All right, so the New York lows were in here, and we played that short down to there. Same situation. And then when you look at this from a perspective of like higher time frame, this is beautiful. Okay, understand where you're at. We talked about this. You're inside of a 4-hour supply, right? Now look to your far right screen. That's a 1-hour supply, right? And we talked about what level, 25.1, where buyers would exit. Context. That's all it is. Context, okay? Now, for the remainder, for you guys, what I would say to do is, target this New York low, because look at where now this is something else you might want to write down in your notes, is know where the New York opens. Is it inside of a continuation? Is it inside of an accumulation? Like if New York was down here inside the accumulation, really, really, beautiful play. But since it was in the markup effect right before a high, most likely there's buyers trapped in the wrong spot. And so what we're trying to attack here is the buyers that just came in here at New York, like on the 1 minute, and they put all their risk under these lows, right? But either way, let me check my numbers here really quick. Let's go. Yeah, Philip, let's go. Bang, 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 bang. I love the bang sound, So, I mean, if you guys have been here with me, just drop a 1 in the chat if you guys like that sell or you took that sell. And then, guys, like I said, the Discord is pretty much done. The only thing I got to do is just make sure there's a couple little things, but it's pretty much done and should be out by Wednesday for the free version. And then you guys are seeing a 15-second delay, I believe, on YouTube. So you'll be able to, in the Discord, have real-time trades. So like I'll share my execution window on Discord with the fam. Let's see where we can take this remainder today. I've got my TP set on low a day, which is a little wild, but I really like 24,900 and really, really like just getting below New York lows here. Now just think about the buyers who bought this in the 1 minute. They just guessed, guys. That's all it was. Nice. We're starting to bang. Let's go. I like that New York Open target, Philip. Yep. I want them to just. I really on my futures. I think I'm gonna be good with the New York low being delivered. This inefficiency imbalance for value gap here. I'm just gonna call them fair value gaps, guys. Forget it. You might hear me say inefficiencies though too. FEG. Alright. So fair value gap under there. Now the other thing is if you are good with your day, you're already past a 1 to 3 and you partialed out 1.5. So if you want to partial out another 1.5 and just call it a day and have 3R on the day, good. But me personally, I'm gonna track this thing today. Because we're currently floating at like 1 to 4R. So like if you took the profit like right now, let's just say for example, you'd be taking about 2R if you already took this, right, at this level here. So if you wanted to be safe and you're just like, well, I don't want it to come back really quick or anything, you could go ahead and secure depending on your entry, right, you could go ahead and secure your 1.3 area, I would say, on a 5 minute, anything above here, because it's either going to respect off this candle and return back up, or it's going to just slip through and take that New York low. But very well this could be the area where they, start to respond. ES looks pretty bearish at New York Open. Let's see if it can fall below 60, 67.86 is over there. But I'm going to be patient here today. I got a little late. What's good, Javier? My bad. Yeah, I know everybody knows me as Ciroc. It's RickeyTrades now. Sorry, my R isn't that good. We'll keep working it, bro. Honestly, your RR it's all up to you. So wherever you enter, you pick, like, you frame it up that way, and then when price gives you what you wanted, then if that makes sense, like even if you would have entered at 25.080, for example, right? It's all up to, like, say you entered at 25.080, you're still over a 1 to 3 right now. If that makes sense. See what I mean? So risk reward is in the eye of the beholder. No, you're good, bro. I do kind of miss the Ciroc days, but all right, really quick, guys. We're moving down into that New York, so I would say understand that if you're wanting to really just trail it aggressively, I would have your risk off on that 5 minute at the 25.032s, okay? Because it could respond right here fairly quickly. But also you want to give it a little bit of room. Let me see how that ES is looking now. Are we back into the initial balance high? What is this? Yeah, that's what that is, huh? Oh, that's previous day high area. Okay. We're back into the H1 range essentially, right? So like they're testing back into support resistance, let's just say. So they could start to build it back up and rise. So just be ready for that, okay? This looks like a really interesting area that they could do that. New York Open was a great target, Philip. I'm just going to be patient though on this one still. If it comes back, it comes back. But like I said, if you guys like that area, that's why I was saying trail the risk. But me personally, I still want to see that New York low delivered today. I just feel like there's too much liquidity under it. Matter of fact, let me grab. Nice, good shit, Manda. That's a good one. I mean, that's a banger. From 25.1 down to 25. That's a 100 handle move. Let me take these push-ups. Starting to rebound there a little bit. That's a good demand trap candle. Let's see though if they're gonna push it. Philip, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, just hit the supply on 15 and just roll. Take a screenshot of this over here. Yes. ES is kind of finding some buyers though. I'm gonna put this up for us, Philip. Of like, please hold the level. So we want to see it stay below that 15-minute supply. If it goes up a little bit, maybe, but you want to see the rejections off the level to the TP. YM is sinking too. We just want to see ES fail those 67, 87s as well at the same time. Otherwise, you know, it's pretty strong off the New York Open. But we can push here. What time did that do that? 9:15. NQ. It looks pretty strong. Good V-shaped recovery right now. I'm still gonna keep the remainder break even from that 100 level. So if they go up and deliver, they do. If they don't, then they don't. You know. But like my risk is right here at the top of this area. So let's continue to watch here. We should know something here by like 9:30, 9:45 if it's gonna go or more. Yeah, it's kind of holding up. It's like now what I'm looking at on a 1 minute here to my right is, can this candle start to go lower? Right, like we start to break down, but it's making higher highs and higher lows, higher high. But if it starts to roll back over, that would be a good sign. But like right now, they're still printing pretty strong. So we'll watch this 5 minute candle here. What time is it? 25. So yeah, between now and 30, if this 5 minute candle gets weak, then it's gonna roll. That 1 minute price looks kind of like what we like to see, right? So let's stay on. I like to stay on this higher time frame to see. ES is getting weak at that 67.87, so a nice extension down to 775s on ES would make this really good for this asset as well. So I'll bring this over for comparison so you guys can see. So like ES, if ES can get back into initial balance and then back into its fair value gap, then NQ here on the right most likely will do very similar and reach down into the fair value gap. We'll see, and it depends on this 5-minute candle, because that's a good V-shaped recover. So if that candle closes higher than here, like on the 5-minute at this point, that V-shaped recovery is valid, and then they probably go and take out shorts. Okay, but we need to see, it would have to be a body close, not just like piercing above. It's looking pretty solid. I'm gonna move these other this one here because this was our first move. That way I can kind of see the price. I can't really see it. And so what I'm anticipating to see is this a stack candle, right? Like, are they gonna stack here as like demand? And I'm not saying this is demand. I'm just saying I'm identifying if this could be going into 11:15 when I'm done. Now, if they can't close and hold like with that V-shaped recovery to go higher, then you should start to see it get weak. But if this is still bullish, right, all the TPs were pretty much taken inside that demand at the New York Open, then you should see it, you know, reach for the next high. But watch that 15. Let's watch that area. And then what time is it? It's almost 9:30, so. So I'm really focused. I know it's kind of like contradictory, but this is the supply candle we're focused on. We're just trying to see if they're going to close this in a specific way to stack demand candles to go higher. But they roll over, like I said, and they come back anywhere back to 25.032s on this 5-minute, most likely they're going for that wick low. Nice. You ended up buying that, Philip? All right, starting to reach a little bit. Five-minute looks pretty good. Let's see how this candle closes. Fair value gap filling on ES. Okay, 1 minute for this candle to close. Let's see how they close it. Oh, Philip, are you saying you went break even on shorts? Oh, okay, well then that's probably, if your entry was a little low, then they might roll to the downside now because they were just testing for that liquidity before they roll. Potentially, I'm not, you know, we'll see. Oh yeah, 100%, bro. I thought you had said you bought, so I was like, Okay, that 5 minutes trying to close bullish above that level, which is, let's see, it did close. One-minute price is showing bullish structure, so it's like this is the decision point right here between now and like 9:45, I would say. ES is finding some buyers at that 67.87 right now, so let's see. Like, and it's printing above New York Open as well. Just usually the effort would, if it was a real nice buy, the effort would push on the 5 really quickly. So it's like, this is why I'm still thinking that we could roll over. Uh-oh. I'm just going to take notes, guys. Uh-oh. Let go. Let's go. Volume looks clean. Continue down. Yes, sir. It's location, too. ES starting to get weak. And it's because we know where low is, we know what high is. And people buying anywhere above those old highs to me, it's a little scary. Okay? Let me grab some more push-ups real quick. Roll over, dude. Yeah, I used to do the same thing, Philip. I used to trade the trade house way, but I used to not sleep, so. We would like this 5 minute to close bearish. If not, then that's a pretty good V-shaped recovery. One minute still holding. ES starting to find some buyers, so we'll see. It's all about the 5 minute to me. This is where people are getting joysticked on the 1 minute. Yeah, those unhealthy trading days. Like sleeping 4 hours a day, trading the rest 20 hours a day. Ah, 5 minutes holding, come on. How much longer does it have? 1 minute. ES is finding buyers right now. YM's in a good spot too, so. I'm just gonna remain break even from the hundreds. What time was that candle to? 9:15. It's a perfect timing. All right, that 5 minute sign of strength right there, right? Closing above the V-shaped recovery candle, it either goes straight to the break evens or it's getting ready to roll in the last 15 minutes of the hour. Okay, because there's like trend line liquidity essentially building here now. Like buyers, stop losses have to be building in this area. But the way that they, one sign of strength, kind of pierced higher on a small time frame, and then they didn't close a body, but that body closed above, that's the sign of strength right there. So if it continues fairly quickly here, that's it, right? If it starts to play around here at 80 level, going into 40, then maybe there's another chance. But if they run these highs, because I do have my break even on the remainder right above here, if they do hit that break even, I may personally attempt one other trade, but I might just leave it at that because that partial gave me the 0.5 back to have a small green day. So we'll see. Risk is staying in the same spot though. Yes, it's really good for the mindset, I swear. And like when I just get jittery, that's why I like to jump on the trampoline too. Okay. That looks really bullish. Come on, make a decision here, coach. If it does roll to the downside, it'll be fast, guys. Like, it'll be a 5-minute fast play. It'll be a 15-minute supply push away, essentially. Right to the liquidity, I would think. Remember. Yeah. Yeah, especially on bullish days, bro. When it just keeps going, you're like trailing the risk. You're just like, dog, what? Okay, let's see this 5-minute candle just get aggressive here. So ES, if it's gonna hold, great. But if it doesn't, it looks like it's filling a 15-minute fair value gap at the 67.96s. So if we start to roll over, I would think that New York low 67.80s would be a great spot on there too. So like, essentially what I'm saying is this is the New York low, right here on ES. And so we would essentially be looking for, where is the thing at, dude? Okay, well, we'll just do it to here for right now. 1700, I don't know why it's not marked on here, but it should be. But New York low is here. And so at the same time, when you're watching both, you'd want to see weakness down to New York lows, liquidity. Okay, look at this. Okay. We'll see. I'm not excited until we hit the FEG at the bottom there. Like, I need to see a 5-minute print back close to 25,000 in New York Open, because this is like a good area for them to test and push. So higher time frame wise though, I would favor downside. That's why I'm in shorts. Yeah, I'm watching 1 minute too here. That's what I'm looking at here is, but as you can see, it's like simultaneously seeing a lot of things. This could be a 5-minute demand candle and V-shaped recovery because of this candle closing higher. But if we start to body close like we are right there under and slip back into 1 minute demand, then I think this is a shitty 5-minute, like this candle right here in the 1 minute is a 5-minute wick. I would think they just run that. Yeah, and this is what we're looking at. We've seen supply, right? This was our supply area. And then that's how we knew buyers from the low of day would exit in a position like this area. So let's see. All right, good 5-minute break inside of a demand. That's usually a good sign on a 1 minute that they're getting ready to at least push down into like 25.030s. So let's see if we can get this here. I'm gonna remove this box because you guys know that's what we're looking for, is and potentially they could hold it up in these highs, but we would rather see them slip this New York low. And that 15-minute supply is starting to work really well. Good shit, Philip. Yeah, it'd be like that, bro. Making sure, like, if you're really being really technical, if you're playing that 15-minute candle, making sure you're playing inside the 50% of the candle, right? That's kind of where my mind is set. So if I see it can't close above that 50% GAN box, and I know that that's a fast 5-minute up candle, FU formation, and then that should tag. And it's just like they only printed one 5-minute candle above this area, so that's a sign to kind of get buyers to be like, oh, it's breaking structure, I'm gonna buy it up now, and then they roll it over. So we get this next one to deliver the fair value gap, the New York low. I'll talk about some management, and then maybe eat something, and I'll stay on for a little bit longer today. I'm thinking like 10:15, 10:30 if we get it, but we got to see how they're gonna respond right here. Another quick thing of management, just always know too where your 1 to 2 is, right? So like 1 to 2 would be like right in this area. So if price just slips really fast, you can start to trail the market based on what you want your target. My target's still 7, so which, like I said, we already cut half, so it's really going to be 4.5R on the remainder if it can reach down there. But this is the area, like I talked about, that you could see buyers still step in, you know. So we just got to watch this area tightly and see how price responds here. What time is it? Okay, cool. We're coming into that, the right timing too. So that 5-minute candle can stay below 25.060 is like 59s right there. Great, but if it starts to respond like that, then that's going to be the sign that they're going to hold that area and push it higher. You think if it drops, can hit 24.840s? 840s? Yeah, daily open. Yeah, 876 is down there. It could definitely go back potentially to there. Because we're so bullish though, like on a 4-hour, I'm really not looking for very much more than that New York low if it was to go. Because this is starting to hold. You see what I'm saying? It's starting to stack. Like it wants to go and take the highs instead, so. And he pushes back above 80 and it's going to go higher. Because buyers will step in and push that. Pushing back, pushing back, pushing back. So yeah, you don't want to tell yourself, oh, I'm not going to buy it this high. You know what I mean? Because sometimes it's just part of the continuation as well. So I've got my risk right at break even, guys, just in case. But like I said, I'll probably stay on because I think if we get right above this, if they come and take these stops out, then I think that there'll be an area a little bit above this potentially. Let me look at that higher time frame one more time. Yeah, we have some room on that. QQQ looks really strong, so I'm going to show this really quick. QQQ looks strong and goes to 605s, right? And it's holding that V-shaped recovery type candle as well. That means they could probably take it into those 606s, which will push NQ up. So we'll see. Okay, so 45 candle, this will be the spot right here. Let's see. What do they want to do? 5 minutes are strong and displacing higher, so 15-minute was strong, so this will be the area. Now, if it's a classic noobs buy tops and sell bottoms, then they've got people trying to buy that 5-minute breakout candle, and then they might trap them. Let's see. They might come and just tap that risk and fall too, so we got to be ready for that. Yeah, bro, if you've hit 2 BEs, maybe that's good for the day. But also take notes of that in your locations, because if it rolls over right here, then it's just maybe the locations of your trades might be on smaller time frames, and maybe you want to jump up to like 15.5 to frame them. So if they respect this 80 level, right? Market loves 20s and 80s. If they start to break down at the 80 level, that'll be very redundant price. Okay. Come on, to the sea. How much longer is this? 5.5, 2 minutes? Let's see. ES kind of made its way back up into the supply 68, so it's kind of that determining factor area for them too as well. Like I said, if it breaks down, it would be fast because they know that they've got a lot of people buying at the highs. Have my coffee. And that ES is still looking kind of strong into that 68 level, so we'll see. Looks pretty strong still. 38 seconds on this close. Let's see how this 5-minute closes. Come on. ES is pushing pretty strong. So. Okay, so 5-minute bear close. Let's see. Below the H1 supply zone too. So let's see here. Have they trapped the buyers? Uh-oh. Come on, do it. Good 1 minute exhaustion there. Let's see. Like I said, guys, if they do this, it's going to be fast. Remember what I talked about on ES, right? ES starting to fail. Potentially the 15-minute supply here, okay? So it's failing to go above that area. That's interesting. Let's see. We should know around this next 5-minute close. If that 1 minute crosses higher one more time than the 25.090s, then that's probably where you're at. But we'll see. I'm pretty bullish on the structure. What I like on the small time frame, just really quick, is the reaction that we're getting away from this little 1 minute area at the 80 level, right? Like that looks really good to just go wipe people that are buying way too high. I have a tool that will help ICT trading if you're interested. Nah, I'm good, thank you. But send it my way. I'm always open to check out new things, but I'm not really looking for any more concepts or tools. Appreciate it though. The indicator algo, that's a cool name. I have a tool that will help ICT trading. Okay, so 15-minute closes in 7 minutes. So we should know here going into 10 a.m. if they're gonna push the 100 level or if they're gonna roll over here. Higher high, higher low, higher high. It is stacking, but you know, we'll see. Starting to really hold up. Like I said, in that 1 minute, if they break through this area right here anymore, like they push higher than this, they're gonna go. But if they can respect that area on 1 minute, those 80s, they'll roll. They're pushing on that 80 level pretty hard. Let's see if this 5-minute close, 22 seconds. I'm hoping that the entry is good enough to, you know, obviously we're break even. I'm hoping it's good enough to stay protected and just roll over here. I felt like it was pretty good. It was in the second candle on the 5-minute, which is always usually pretty good, as long as you're above that 95 level. Okay, let's see. That was a 5-minute sign of weakness right there. Let's see. With only 5 minutes left before the 15-minute candle closes. But again, like I said, they need to respect this little 1 minute supply area. If they go above it, the structure continues bullish and they go higher. Now, I will say this. If price holds this area, right, the 80s on that 5 minute, doesn't go any higher here, close to 95, like it's starting to now. If it does roll over really fast, I'll start to trail it pretty quick off those 15 5-minute highs. But that looks like it's getting ready to push. What time is it? 56? Yeah. We'll see. Come on, man. And so that 1 minute is starting to get stronger at this area, but we got to see how this candle closes, right? If it closes above, you know, obviously, like I said, it's going to go run for hundreds. But if it starts to get weak right here, then that might be, let's see. Nah, it's looking pretty bully. I'll go back to 5, but that's what I'm looking at in the far right window. I don't want to trick myself on the 1 minute. How much longer until this 5 minute closes? 2 minutes. Oh, that's a long time. They could, yeah, that's what they could do. They could definitely wake up to the area. They know where stop losses are sitting. No joke if price comes up here and survives. I'm not saying that it's not bullish. I don't want to try the tool. I think it's just, or I'm not saying that I won't try the tool. I'm just saying we already took our shorts and paid ourselves. So if it slides and falls to the downside, then I'm gonna ban you. Indicator algo. How about that? Is that fair? Oh my gosh. Let me take a screenshot of that actually. $10 a.m. loading. Let's see. ES is rejecting again. 67.96s. Just remember, guys, buy low, sell high. All right. On the daily, this would be the high, right? Because this is the low of day down here, right? Correct? This would be the high of day, right? So, I don't know. I don't know. And for some reason, the 80 level, we're not printing above that level, huh? We're trying. We're getting close. Too bad we don't have the overnight buys. I usually take an overnight buy, but I didn't have it. All right, between now and 10:15, we should know, right? Because that London closes at 10:30. So unless something changes on the new contracts, I'm not for sure. We gotta look at that and make sure that the London close time is still the same. Way of the Warrior. You said you're locked in, or did you buy it, or what? They are stacking pretty nice. It's just the effort. They haven't really had that much effort to push. I'm gonna hit some push-ups really quick while we wait. We'll take a look at it. Looks pretty good. The gold buy looks pretty good. Back up to the high of day, like 50-40. Looks pretty good. Yeah, that Goldilocks looks nice. I like this right now, right? ES rejection of supply, and us in the highs starting to reject the 80 level. So let's see if Buddy's algo works. I even wrote down what time you said that. Interesting. This is my first time trading NQ, guys. Oh my god. Alright, look at ES, guys. A nice rejection here. Let's stay focused on the path here. One minute price looks good from that 80 level I talked about. Let's see if it can roll. Nah, where's the guy with the algo? I need you to come back in the chat right now. Come back in the chat right now. If this hits our TP for New York low, I need an apology. Oh my gosh. Alright, let's see if it fills this 5 minute area. They've been holding all day. Really what I'm looking at is the comparison. Like if ES can go deliver New York low, I feel like we can at least push back down into that area. So we'll see. Now, if you're break even from the hundreds, and you think price goes below here, I would move my risk down to 25,092s, right? Like just on top of this white candle here, right on its high. So you can move your risk to 25,092 flat if we start to go below this candle, okay? Because we're relatively really close to the TP zone of the fair value gap, all right? And because of where the day started, right, and where people started buying above old highs, which is new material, I would think we go back to daily, like me and Philip were talking about. I know, dude, Philip, that ES was fire. 15-minute imbalance fill, 96 level. We'll see if it works out there right here. I'm interested to see what this guy's algo is. Aren't you guys? I want to know what it is. I want to see how it works. He said that it's for sure. Like as soon as he said that, the hour just started slipping, dude. For some reason, I wonder why. I wonder if it's for the fact that all of the assets, right? Oh, it's starting to slide, huh? All the assets here are in this H1 supply, right? Where buyers should exit. So I don't know what the algo tells you to do at all, but I'm just saying, like, I'm just asking, you know what I mean? That looks pretty good, guys. Keep watching that 5, 15, and then I'm gonna move this because it's showing up in my higher time frame kind of weird, but we know that's the liquidity that we're targeting. $100%. It's a mitigation into a 15-minute supply. So yeah, 100%. They make people get scared out of their entry. That's why my system works pretty well, because it psychologically puts you in an advantage when you take that partial at the excuse me, at the 60-point mark, and then you're able to manage down on the remainder. So you already took 1.5R. So I lost that first trade for 1R. Then I took my partial for 1.5, puts me up 0.5R on the day, so I still have a small green day. Now, if we go deliver through the lows on my futures position, right? So if we go deliver through the lows on that area, that's gonna give me 7R. So half of that would be 4.5 plus my 1.5 plus my 1, because I lost, or yeah, plus my 0.5. So looks pretty good, guys. Guys, where is that algo? Where is that algo, fam? Let me know what it's telling you right now, please. I mean, because I'm not saying it like in a cocky way. I'm just saying, like, what is it telling you right now? I really want to know. Because we actually do want that algo, so we can do the exact opposite. Oh my gosh, dude. Okay. Now, what did I say? If you're below this level, you could probably go ahead and secure those 25,092s, right? On your remainder, and we'll track this bad boy down. And then let's look at this, guys, comparative strength analysis. I mean, I can't make this up. All right? Bang. Bang. Dude is gone. Where's the guy in the chat with the algo? Where's the guy in the chat with the algo? Bruh. Come on, man. I need to see something. I want to see the algo. All right, I gotta stop because now I'm losing the energy that I need to be in. Okay. But let's take a look at this really quick of all three assets here. Beautiful rejection of the gap and supply YM. Beautiful rejection of supply ES from buyers from overnight. And same thing with NQ, okay? So it's a good first day trading. It's a good first day trading NQ. Okay. He said, bro got margin call and dipped. Oh my God, bro. Chill out, Philip. 5-minute structure break, lower low. You know what that means, guys. That's usually a good sign that we're getting ready to go take liquidity. Doesn't mean it for sure, but there's a good sign now because of the structure break, right? We're talking price action and structure. So if it's going to slip and go to the liquidity, it should do it right after this. If it pulls back and fills the inefficiency, I'd be surprised. Okay? But it could. I'm not saying it can't. I'm just saying I would be surprised at that point. And then we talked about this just really quick, that New York area, when I talked about 80 levels, you saw it broke down at the 80 level perfectly, and you could have shorted right there at 10:03, first 15 minutes, okay? Now, it could go up from here, right? I'm not saying it can't, but I'm saying the rollover is definitely a lot more, looking a lot better right now. So we'll see. Let me check ES, though. ES made, so this is where I'm watching on another window. Matter of fact, let me put it over here. I'm watching this on another window because there might be divergence here, okay? Because you want to see if ES is going to deliver that New York low before NQ. I like that 1 minute area, guys. That could be, now this could be the area where they can start to print. But like I said, I'm not going to remain the break even on this. I would say you could go ahead and still secure those 25.092s. And then for my futures position, I'm just looking through for a sweep of that New York low. And then I have a CFD position that I'll play to daily open or to the low of day. Okay. So I want to secure my 3+ R day. But let's continue to watch here. I'm going to move this box because I think that's what's messing with me on that higher time frame. I can't see. Okay. Yeah, so I'll show what I have on the board here really quick, my bad. This is all I have. I have my runner, and I'm break even. So I'm looking for it to deliver through. I may, depending on the velocity, right, of how it gets down through this liquidity, I may be looking for daily open on futures, but really what I'm looking for is price to deliver right through this 24,961s, and I'll probably be out on futures for the day. I'll trail my wrist down really tight and keep it close. And then on my CFD swing positions, I'm going to look for a lot lower. But for the stream purposes, I'm going to be, I just want to get that 5R zone locked. So like this, or the 7R zone locked under the lows. But they are building. I mean, they are building, but it's just like when they're building, but there's a 5 minute lower low, the 1 minute could be working, but when there's a 5 minute body close lower, they usually just fill the inefficiency and then they roll down. But I'm not saying that it can't buy up because we've come to this area before, right? We've come to this area before, like right here, right? And we showed strength, but because we just did what we did, which was where I just identified that candle closing, right? That 5 minute lower low, that shows me more signs of weakness potential to get to the liquidity of New York low first. Yeah, I'm watching ES here on the other window. After a break of structure, it could give a retracement and then melt. Exactly. That's why I'm like, I'm not looking for very much more on futures, guys, than that fair value got filled on that New York low top. But when you look at YM, for example, okay, why is this both? If you look at, these are all, okay. So let's do this really quick. So I'm just going to pan over to YM. If you look at YM, look at that. Beautiful from supply 47.7, and then it's pushing back into the fair value gap of the 47.320's potential. So they're all, they're all in a way showing some weakness, but it's just going to be very difficult in how they do it, I feel like here. But because of that 1 5 minute candle breaking lower like that, it's like they could kind of pump it, but as long as they stay below this blue line that I have here on that 15, then the 15 minute candle looks more than likely in 35 seconds to close bearish, and then the next candle will just roll right into the imbalance potential here. So I'm looking at the 15 minute FEG. Those are what I like to target. Make sure I have that 950 level marked. Dude, what happened? I really want to see. Okay, so let's see here. That 15 minute candle closed bearish. You guys see that? So that's a good bearish close. So it's either like they hold it and go back, right? And this rallies up to take out the highs, or that's it, right? Because they're touching that previous day high, that previous support resistance area. So that 5 minute print in 1 minute is pretty, we'll see. I'm gonna stay locked here on that 5 minute print though. They're finding some buyers. ES kind of as well has that V shape. We'll see if ES starts to print above 68.87 above New York Open again on that 5 minute. They could have possibly retraced enough now. So we'll see. But I'm gonna remain break even. Just wait, see if we get the delivery or we don't. Either we're gonna come back to the entry or we're gonna get the delivery of the New York low. But again, wherever that guy went with the algo, don't come back now. You gotta stay with this. After bigger structure, could give a retracement. I'm thinking. Exactly. Just watch the 5. We'll see. This 15-minute candle, if, like I said, if there's a lot of 5 minute strength on this side, then it has a chance, right? But as long as I feel like if it, you kind of have like this zone here, essentially now on a 5 minute and a 15, like this zone here, if it stays below this area going into 12 o'clock, well, really even 11:15, because that's when I'm done no matter what. If it stays in this zone and can't go higher, great. All right, that's why I said if you don't want to be break even on the 100, you could go ahead and secure the bag on the 92 whole level. Just to not secure the bag, but just move your risk more in profit. But let's watch this area here. No, I'm not trolling. I'm just saying if you're gonna come in here and say that, you gotta stay through the whole trade and not when don't come back if this rolled all the way to daily open or 900s and then be like, yeah, the algo told me to buy. It's like, bro. Ever since he said the algo told him to buy, price sold off like 60 points. So I'm just curious on what it's saying. Okay, and we're really focused on 50 levels as well. So this 50 level that we're at right now is really important. 25. All right, half levels, whole levels, we love them. So if they start to show a lot of strength there on the 5 minute, then I could see it happening. But they start to reject here, we'll see. Take a look at ES. So it's kind of holding up in there. Is getting strength. 1 hour starting to wick. We'll see. Whenever they do it, like I said, it'll be fast. That's gonna be the bullshit till that OMC. That 1 minute just flashed down from that 0.50. 20 handles really quick. Okay. That was pretty fast, right back down. So let's watch. Stay on this higher time frame. What time was that too? I need to write that down. All right, it's time for some push-ups, guys. Give me a second. Oh, come on, dude. It's taking too long, guys. I'll be honest. I need some water too, shit. I'll be right back, guys. If it happens, great. If it doesn't, we'll see. We have FOMC today? I was like, bro, what? Philip, don't scare me like that. Appreciate you. You're an OG, so I appreciate that, Amanda. Uh-oh. Is this to the C? I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm gonna go crazy at the gym today if we deliver this TP and this algo guy doesn't come back. Brother. Is that ES and NQ moving at the same time? Brother, come on. All right. Now, okay, let's focus up here. So 10:22, 10:30 is the London close. So all the people, right? This is the London open down here. All the individuals that bought this, they're like, damn, we're not going any higher. So they're exiting, if that makes sense. And what are they doing if they're exiting? They're pressing the sell button. Okay? I know, that's what I was saying, bro. It's like the fair value gap on here looks really good. FEG. Just can't deliver, right? We'll mark it in a second. I need to focus here real quick. So if you moved your risk to the 25.092s to secure the bag, depending on how this 5-minute candle closes, you could go ahead and secure the 25.055s. So if it closes below that purple box area, like below here, and shows more weakness to go down to here and here, I would say if you're wanting to secure the bag, you can start to trail to 25.05 or 25. Let me see the exact high here. 25.056 flat. But that's if the 5-minute candle starts to get weak here, because they're starting to kind of build up inside that area where they broke structure lower. So we're kind of at a point where they got to make a decision here. And guys, I am just looking for that fair value, fair value gap fill with the, so it's like right here. You kind of pull that down a little bit. And I'm looking for like 50% fill of that to be out of there on futures. All right, 45 seconds for this 5-minute close, okay? And then we're going into the London close at 10:30. So that should be, those people are tired of holding since 2 a.m. Take a screenshot of this really quick. Appreciate you, Philip. I'll talk to you a little bit later today, bro. But appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you hopping on. Oh, come on, 5-minute price. All right, so we got that 5-minute close. It was a bearish close, so it's like if they're gonna hold that 1 minute area, they've kind of got a stack right here. So it's hit or miss. So depending on what kind of day you've had, like I said, you could go ahead and secure the 25056s, and then it could just roll over. You could go ahead and secure the 25092s. But for me personally, it's either coming back to my entry or going, because I've already partialed. It's either coming back to my entry or it's gonna hit that that TP that we want, which is New York lows. But they're looking pretty protected right now. Let me pull this over here because I need to see this actually. And then we want to stay on higher time frames here for the stream. Okay, continue to watch. Any prints above 25050s, and I would say there's a chance they could go back up. But if they continue to reject that 25050, then I think we could roll to our level. And same thing with ES. If it can reject 6789s and stay below that, then great. But if it starts to show strength above New York anymore, too much, then you know, we'd have to see. $10.30 about to load. Let's go. Let's see. 2 minutes on the 15-minute candle and 5. So let's see right here. Because now what they're starting to do is they're starting to create supply potentially. And so if this is bearish, it's going to start to reject down even more, right? Going into lunchtime from that 5-minute candle and just roll. Okay. I want to see a capitulation here, which that's usually a surrender. Okay, that's a surrender of individuals who bought on the way up late. ES starting to get weak. Good signs. Okay. Like that's a good sign that it's starting to get weak, like I said, from New York Open. Okay. Oh snap, almost closed out the window. Alright guys, somebody, we get this delivery through New York. Somebody please tell the algo guy to come back into the chat and let's ask him, can we please have his algo because we want to take the opposite of the trades. Right? That's humble. That's like being humble with it. Honestly. We can find a way to work together. 100%. I mean, legit, if you guys go back to the chat and you look at, since he said those words, price has melted. So, not talking shit, bro. Just being realistic with you. And I told you, I said, if it would have went up, I would have looked at your algo. But now that we're not, we'll see, man. We gotta break through this 5-minute level. Okay, so like I said, it has on the way down. It needs to respect because it's making 5-minute lower lows, and then this was our trap candle on the way up. So to get a clear, right? So to get below New York Open at this point would be the for sure sign that they want the New York lows. But if they start to hold it here, I'm not saying that they can't buy it from here. This would be the area that they already bought it, pushed it up, failed to go higher, right? And then rolls over. So if they try it again, they would push it straight through, I would think. But I think they really want, like I said, I think they really want these right here. Like they want that liquidity. So that's what I'm gonna keep my eyes focused on right now. The 5 minute is kind of picking up. Let me see here on the ES. ES really similar. Let me look at that 1 hour. We're back into the previous day high, so support resistance. So I still want to see the slip down ES at 67.75. So we'll see. But this is the area as well, like I said, that they could hold inside this candle. So if you don't want to hold this, like you're like, I don't know if it's going to go to that target or not, then trade your risk down to 25.056. But I'm going to wait this out. I've already waited this long, so. Oh, what's goody, Alvin? What's good, bro? Good. I know we talked this recently, but nah, that's the goal, man. That's the goal. Is just to provide as much value as possible and help people become profitable, funded, payouts, all that, the whole thing. There's a guy, bro, Alvin, that's in the chat. If you go look, he's got an algorithm, and he said that the market was telling him to buy above 25.060. So we were about to follow that, but we decided not to. Ricky, bro, if you had to start all over again from zero, what would be your biggest tip for anyone? The biggest tip? Let me really think about this one. For trading, let's say, for example. That's a good one. Biggest tip for someone starting from zero. Learn from someone that has true results. Right? And they not like, yeah, that's the best thing I could tell you. Learn from someone that legitimately is not just showing you P&L, but can show you almost every phase of the trade. You know what I mean? Like that's how I learned. That's how I came up with Jordan Morgan, right? I sat right next to him, and he continued to show me everything was like on the charts was real, like before he ever showed me P&L. All right, guys, so really quick, we were talking about that ES trade working out as well. We just took New York lows on ES, so we do have a divergence, so we do want to have that understanding. We want to take a look at QQQ, and it looks like we could go back and fill the 602 gaps because we rejected the 605s, which was the gap. And so now I think we're on our way to liquidity, guys. I really do. So let's see what we get. If he comes back in the chat, he still got my respect. But if he doesn't come back in the chat, he lost my respect. Okay, I'm on stream. Thank you, babe. Ooh, and babe just said breakfast is ready. Ooh, come on, let's just deliver the TP and this will all be gravy. Now, New York Open is where price could bounce, okay? So this is where I would say protect or pay yourself. This is like my mantra. So we could get through there. This could bounce. So this is where we want to see a clean push on that 1 minute, right? So I'll show you guys 1 minute. We want to see a clean push through this level here. Like it just roll over really quickly and then start to attack these wicks. I like the 5 minute, like I said, from structure wise, okay? So let me go ahead and be ready for TPs over here. TPs are locked and ready. Okay. Yeah, bro, I don't know. He disappeared. Like from the moment he said bye, we literally just started banging our shorts out. So I have no idea. I really am interested to see what it talks about. All right, guys, so let me write this down. I'm talking too much. Divergence. What time was that? 10:30 to 10:35. What time did we turn 35 here? Okay. ES delivered. NYO low. Divergence. NQ. But close. At POI. Okay, I think we're gonna get that delivery, guys. And I want it to go like right here under that wick, under this wick right here, this candle. So let me point that out real quick again. So this candle right here, I want it to go right under that wick, okay? For the bang. I feel like this was a pretty good breakdown, to be honest. Like, because we've been patient today. And like I said, like, sometimes I take a scratch, but it's like it's a predetermined loss, so it's part of the game, you know? Let me take a screenshot of this over here. Hurry up really quick. So I feel like we're about to bang. Y'all, Aries gang. All right, guys. Free me up to do what I want today. Bang! Bro, where is your algo? I need to see it now. I want to see your algo right now. If you were in the chat telling me and telling the community that they should have been buying in the highs, that noob shit out of here. Bang, guys. All right, that's going to be, let's see here. I'm going to start trailing down some stuff. Let me stay calm here. So my futures just hit TP. I'm good on futures, right? That's it. Secured the bag on the day, right? And then our CFD, if you're still holding that CFD, I think we could get to daily opens imbalance and possibly the low of day. So we'll continue to watch here till, I guess 11, but give me 1 second, guys. It's trampoline time. Yeah, it's trampoline time now. Let's go. Let's go. Hold on. Yeah, it's trampoline time, guys. Hold on, let me see this really quick. So if you guys took that trade with me on futures, like if you're trading Top Step, any of that type of stuff, I would say either you have two options, right? You could trail your risk to this area. You could be out with that New York low sweep because I think that they could fill that fair value gap and turn up. It's really up to you. But me personally, I am out of futures. Okay. Sheesh. Hold on. Hey, nowadays I'm on my haters getting sadder. Hey, hey, different song, bro. Different producer. I can do anything, never loser. Whoa. Talking shit, boy, make me get my room, girl. Yeah, I sell my room, girl. My niggas in shooters. Rocking them grills all the way till my tooth hurt. Well, I swear that I'm cooler. That ain't no rolling. This is a Frank Mueller. Yeah, Frank Mueller. Boy, I started on the bottom. Made my way to the top. Boy, I'm gon' keep winning. You know I cannot stop. Remember I had a little. Turn that shit to a lot. Always been 100. Put that on my block. Used to want that $4. Now I want that drop. Now I do what I want. What? Now I do what I want. What? Now I do what I want. Now I do what I want. Yeah. Now I do what I want. 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 Whoa. Now I do what I want. Now I do what I want. All right, guys. All right. That's it for me today, guys. I'll be back for the trade review a little bit later today. They'll probably copyright this video because I just played Uzi. But with that being said, I appreciate you guys watching, and we'll be back on again tomorrow, same time, same place. Everybody shout out the algo, man. Tell them you want that algo. Whoa. I'll wait to the top, and then I'll keep winning, and then I stop. Whoa. My dog wants to go on a walk now. Let's go. Alright guys, appreciate you guys. It was fun. Let me take a screenshot of this really quick. The chat was going crazy today. That's fun. I need that algo, man. No, hold on. He said the algo guy's done. Yeah, bro. Hold on.
See that brand new Hyundai Santa Fe? Yeah, only paid. Finish this bucket on your own.
Enjoy your new car.
It's your Hyundai Getaway sales.
Okay. Appreciate you guys. Talk to you guys a little bit later. Have a good day. Look out for the trade review.
90 days plus 5,000 bonus cash. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today.